because of the connection, let us know. And we'll just take turns. Feel free to answer them however there's no right or wrong answer. If there's anything you want us to know about you, feel free to add that in anywhere in our discussion today. We'll be making a recommendation to the full board at another meeting, not today, and then the full board will most likely make the final appointments in December.
Okay.
So we'll start with Commissioner Walter.
Hi there. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you guys fine.
Okay, great. All right. Thank you for being here and your interest in serving. Can you tell us just a little more about yourself and why you are specifically interested in becoming a member of the Parks and Rec Board?
Kind of make a long story short, my grandparents lived up here, so I started vacationing back in like the 60s, and always wanted to live here, mainly because of the outdoor aspect of Traverse City. I mean, it's always been a healthy environment. It has a lot to do with the outdoors. I finally had the opportunity to move up in '98, so I'm a single dad, packed my kids up, and we moved up here and never looked back. I have been avid outdoors. I've used a lot of the facilities. I played beach volleyball. I've played a lot of recreational sports through the city. I used to be a runner. I think those days are done. I'm a biker, mountain biker and road biker. I fish, so I do a lot with the Grand Traverse Conservancy. So I have a keen interest in the outdoors, and I know you guys have a lot to do with the parks and the governance and the leasing activities as well. So I wanted to get involved with the city, with the county, any way I can to help. So I've got some time now. I'm semi-retired, so I decided this would be something that I'd like to at least take a closer look at.
Thanks, Tom.
In your opinion, what are the functions of this board, and what strengths will you offer to build a balance of expertise?
Well, to be honest with you, Rob, I have no experience on any boards. I've never been involved in any kind of committee or any endeavor of this type. So I'm a greenhorn. I'm a rookie. So I would have to say that probably, other than my interest and love of the area, that I'm going to bring a completely different perspective. And if that's going to be a good fit with the board, then I think that's where I'm able to help. Just a completely different view.
So what business expertise have you acquired in your current or past employment that you think will be beneficial to providing guidance to this board?
So from a business perspective, I've been in sales and management for 30 plus years. I've worked with a lot of different people at different C-suite levels when it comes to negotiating business contracts, leases. I've been in a lot of different business environments, I think, that have helped me get a good knowledge base on how to negotiate with people, how to negotiate contracts. So that probably, from a business perspective, is something I can bring.
Thank you.
Okay, next one. Tom, have you attended any of the Parks and Rec board meetings in the past or done research about Parks and Rec?
I have not.
Are you a year-round resident, and can you commit to attending monthly meetings and additional time for special committees or projects?
I am a year-round resident, and I could make that commitment.
Okay, how would you seek views and opinions from staff and or the community on topics being addressed by this board?
That's a very good question. The technical answer to that, not knowing how the board or, the county actually works on those fronts, I wouldn't be able to answer to that. But I would consider myself a very open, thoughtful, I'm the type of person that takes in feedback. I have the ability to, I think, listen to people's opinions and ideas, and not have any preconceived notions or, already an answer. I've in several cases, even with my own children, had, maybe a certain answer in mind, but having listened to their or others' opinions and ideas change, I think, because you need the ability to do that, I think, to be able to serve people overall, not just individual self-interest.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, Tom, do you have any personal or professional connections with members of the county commission or business ties with the county government or individual county commissioners that you feel you need to disclose?
No.
All right, that's all the questions we have for you. Is there anything you'd like to add? Anything you'd like us to know about you?
Yeah, I guess from this perspective, what is it that you're looking for from an individual for this board?
Well, that's a tough question. I think everyone has their own kind of what they're looking for, and sometimes you don't know exactly what you're looking for until you find it, or you think you know what you want, and then you stumble across a person that just seems to be the perfect fit. So I guess all that to say, if you're not selected, that's because there's a whole lot of people that would be perfect board members, and it's not easy sitting on this side of the table and going through this list of people and picking one. And that's not to say the rest wouldn't be great board members. And so I would encourage you, if you're not selected, is to keep applying for this or other boards that are of interest to you, and keep looking for ways to serve your community. Just it's such a small section of our community that reaches out and actually applies. So we need people like that to continue to serve, and whatever happens to work out. So sorry I don't have a straight answer. I know we do want diversity on boards. We don't want like a board of all bankers running the park, or a board without any financial experience on the board. We want to have a well-rounded board. So at the end of the day, we're going to take notes on all these questions, and we'll talk through them, and each one of us will have our own opinion and majority rules, and then it goes to the full board. And if the board most of the time agree with the committee, that'll be who's selected. That'll be in December.
Okay.
How
many people are you interviewing for this?
there's another
3.
for
There's
parks, there are
several
maybe
today and more on Friday.
probably 6 or 7 for this. And to answer your question kind of in that light, I'm not saying that the decision has been made or not, because it hasn't, but if you are not selected for this board, consider applying for other boards. And you asked the question of what are we looking for? I think having citizens who have an open mind and want to come in and help their community, I'll tell you from a person that's been serving on different boards in the community since I was in my 20s, it's extremely rewarding. You'll meet people, and being involved in your community and giving back it's a good, it feels good, and it does good, and it makes a lasting a lasting mark on your community. And that when you invest in something, you're able to enjoy it even more. So whether or not this works out for you, this particular interview, keep throwing your hat in the ring. Maybe find a board that you might be interested in the future and attend a meeting or two, see if it looks like the culture that you would be comfortable with. So we have two problems when we do these interviews. Sometimes we don't have enough applicants, or we'll have like one applicant, or in the other case, we have multiple applicants, and often it's filled with really good candidates. And in some cases, there's already a member on the board who's reapplying, who's done a really good job too. So it isn't necessarily a reflection on the applicant if you don't get picked, but we do encourage people to keep involved, because we want good people who have an interest to stay involved and try to get involved in our community. So
There's also a
And that's
subcommittee.
the whole reason I asked the question is I have zero experience in this arena, but I do love this community dearly. And I do want to be a part of, making it a great place to live.
Appreciate that.
Great. There's also subcommittees on parks, and I believe one that's now called strategic plan.
Yeah.
Used to be more of a business development committee, but they do work with a lot of vendors. That has at least one citizen appointment as well, and that may be a great thing to attend or be a part of too, and bring your expertise there as well. Just throwing it out there is another possibility.
Yeah, Tom, I added up
Okay.
8 people had parks by their name. So, and parks is honestly probably the most sought after application we get. We have several boards. It's like building codes board of reviews. Like nobody ever applies for it. We're always looking for somebody. But then there's things like the parks that we get regularly 6 to 10 applicants every time there's an opening.
And feel free to attend the Parks Board meetings, or they're 5:30 on, is it the
Second Thursday of each month.
second Thursday? Yeah, so they're at the Government Center right here at 400 Boardman Avenue. Feel free to come, and there are other sideline boards, or maybe even volunteer for special projects. There is a way to get involved even if you don't get appointed, so.
Got one more
Fair
question
enough.
for you.
Oh, Jim, one more.
I've asked everybody, so I didn't get a chance to ask. What's your favorite county park?
Oh, yeah.
There's so many great parks up here. It depends on what I want to do. If I want to go for a mountain bike ride, or I want to go for a hike. There's probably a half dozen parks that I like. I really enjoy going to. That's what's great about living here, is that you got so many choices.
All right. Thank
All
you.
right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Okay, happy healing.
Yeah, good luck with your knee.
Thank you. Bye.
I was trying to
Was
think
it
my answer to
Tony
that.
or Tom? This sheet says Tom, and this said Tony, and I'm like, am I
Oh.
calling him the wrong name?
Oh,
Tom DeMerle or Tony DeMerle?
Tony.
It is Tony? Okay.
Okay, it said